A major war in the Middle East is rapidly escalating after a series of coordinated strikes by the United States and Israel on Iran. The conflict has already triggered missile exchanges, attacks on shipping routes, and fears of wider regional war. Iran has vowed retaliation, while global leaders are calling for restraint, and tensions threaten to disrupt global oil supplies and destabilize the region. The crisis erupted on February 28, when the United States and Israel launched large-scale strikes on Iranian military and nuclear targets. Coming down to the Strait of Hormuz crisis, which is one of the most serious consequences, has been disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most important oil shipping route. Iranian forces warned ships not to pass through the strait, effectively halting traffic and raising fears of a global energy crisis. Talking about civilian toll rising, the conflict is intensifying with daily airstrikes and missile attacks. So far, more than 1,000 people have been reportedly killed. Several Iranian cities have been targeted in continuing bombardments. Recent strikes near Tehran have reportedly hit civilian areas, including schools, further escalating international concern. If we look at the global reaction, world leaders and the United Nations have called for immediate de-escalation. The conflict is widely seen as one of the most dangerous geopolitical crises in decades, with fears that it could expand into a broader Middle East war involving multiple countries. World leaders and international organizations have called for restraint. The United Nations have urged all sides to avoid further escalation and return to diplomacy. Countries such as China, Russia, and European powers have warned that the conflict could spiral into a full-scale regional war. Saeed Khatibzadeh, Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran, said that his country is being attacked based on false claims that it posed a threat. Saeed Khatibzadeh also said that the country has not closed the Strait of Hormuz and currently has no intention of doing so. He clarified that if Iran ever decides to shut the strategic waterways, it would be officially announced.
So the conflict, besides having gone in the Gulf, what you are seeing is possibly the closure of the Straits of Hormuz. That shipping has been affected, supplies have been affected. Qatar has been forced to shut down its gas supplies everywhere else. So and declared force majeure. So there are fundamental problems in the flow of energy supplies, not just to, the US or to Israel. These supplies are getting affected all over the world. Why has the Straits of Hormuz been closed, if it has?
It has not been closed by us, not now. If we close it, we are going to announce it. All the declaration which has been made by Iran is very precise, very honest, and very straightforward. We have not yet closed the Strait of Hormuz. Those insurance companies that they have stopped insuring, vessels and tankers is the main cause of no tankers going through the Strait of Hormuz. Yet we have said that no vessel, no tankers by U.S. or Israeli flag, or those who have been helping them cannot go through the Strait of Hormuz. We are on the record that we have not closed the Strait of Hormuz, and we have no intention to do that until further notice. If we do that, we are going to announce that, and we are going to do that responsibly. We are anchor of stability. We are anchor of stability in the Strait of Hormuz because we are actually there, and we are also using that. So this is not our policy. This is not yet our decision, and we are very much open to share. It's very important question why we are here, and why American and Israeli started aggression against Iran and invaded Iran. This act of aggression, why happened? This is $1 million question, and if you pose this question to American administration based on the market and the audience, you will get different answers. One day they say that, okay, it was because nuclear weapon program was happening in Iran. The other day would say that because Iran was posing an imminent threat. The other day would say that it is because of the change of the political structure of Iran. And they continue there. And recently they are not talking about Judeo-Christian crusade against Islam.
But can we get back to the question of what changed for Iran? What changed for Iran?
I would like to say, a little bit of context, because I think it is important with this very huge disinformation campaign which is happening right now. My country is under attack based on lies, based on flat lies that Iran was imposing imminent threat and these sort of things. You have to know that a week ago, we were in Geneva with the mediation of Foreign Minister of Oman and with the presence of Mr. Grossi, head of the International Atomic Energy Agency. We nailed down a practical agreement in which that Foreign Minister of Oman said that the agreement is at reach and everything is ready. We actually identified Monday to go to Vienna and just write down everything. We left the room. The American, negotiator said that very promising. Thank you very much. We are going to hand over our written proposal on Monday. And then we left the room. We arrived in Tehran, and they started aggression against us. This is a TV reality show. They invite you to have diplomacy in place while they are making military build-up, and there is no actual understanding of why they started this. If you ask me why they started this, it is because of the power politics and because of the greater Israel and because of the Prime Minister of the regime of Israel, that they would like to seek greater Israel, and they think that is a once-a-century opportunity for them to just exercise edge over other countries and impose their hegemony over other countries to change the Middle East forever. But what is happening right now, everybody should know that they are carpet bombing Iran out of frustration because they would like to see a new Middle East. And this is why that we are here. Why it is different? Because they would like to put an end to the existence of Iran.
See,
have you raised this issue of sinking Iranian warship which was returning from the IFI?
This is very sad, very unfortunate, incident. That vessel was by invitation of our Indian friends attending an exercise, international exercise. It was ceremonial, it was unloaded, it was unarmed, and the only precedent for that was during Nazi time when they attacked unarmed vessels and armed ships away from combat zone. So Americans are exercising the practice of Nazi Germany when they attacked a ceremonial, unarmed, and unloaded vessel. It is very unfortunate. Many of Iranian young sailors who were attending this exercise actually lost their lives, and it cannot go with impunity for those who actually did that.
Can you provide some details?
Do you see ground invasion from US happening in coming days?
Pardon?
Ground invasion from US by US.
I'm not in Oval Office. I don't know. They change every time their goal and their strategy based on the market and the audience. What we are doing is a heroic nationalist defense. We have no option, just I told you, to stop them from aggression and change their behavior in the region. They cannot come to 1,000 miles from their border to do a colonial mission of changing a political structure of another country and topple down a democratically elected government of a country. Thank you very much.
Sir, CIA is in touch with Kurds, and they are saying that the Kurds are going to do help in the regime change in Iran. How would you like to react to this?
First of all, please do not demonize our courts.
Okay.
Our courts are the center to our identity, to the Iranian identity. We are very much proud of our Kurdish people inside Iran. You are talking about separatists,
yes,
who have been nourished by CIA and Mossad. We are born to fight separatism. Iran has a very strong identity. Iran is the oldest living civilization on earth, and we know how to defend our identity. And I'm sure that the first front against those separatists are the courts, our courts.
How do you look at Indian government's gesture, Foreign Secretary's gesture of signing the condolence book, sir? How do you look at this gesture?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sir, how do you look at India's gesture? Sir, how do you look at India's gesture of signing the condolence?
Okay, last question.
Do you see an off-ramp from this war? How long do you think this war will
For us, I told you I would to repeat it as the last point. For us, We are resisting, and this is a resistance for the history, for the region, for the world, for international law, for the principles of international law, for ethics, for morality. And we are going to resist, and this is for the record of the history. Iranians are sacrificing because rogue, reckless behavior is happening against Iran. This is what we are doing. For the other side, I don't know, you have to ask them, but I think the moment they stop the aggression, we are going to have a new dynamism in the region. Thank you very much.
Vernetti, former Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs of Italy, said that the conflict involving Iran, Israel and the United States did not emerge suddenly, alleging that Iran has pursued an illegal nuclear enrichment program for 2 decades and promoted instability in the region.
Yeah, as I said, this Iran war does not came out from nothing. It's at least 20 years that Iran is pursuing an illegal nuclear enrichment program with that is could provoke further instability in the region. Iran promoted terrorism and exporting instability. Hezbollah in the south of Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and then the Houthi in Yemen. October 7, the worst terrorist attack against Israel was realized by Hamas, but really funded and designed in Tehran. So it's a long story, and of course, and the reaction also Iran attacking civilian infrastructure in the United Arab Emirates, in Qatar, in Jordan, in Saudi Arabia, that's not acceptable. And so I think this situation, it's really very worrying, but I think also there are interesting alternatives. During these days, also IMEC is in the agenda of this conference, so the possibility to design a new corridor, the Indian Middle East Economic Corridor that linking India, the Gulf states, Israel and European Union, and that should be really an alternative to this tension. This is really a project that is able to bypass the geopolitical choke point of the Strait of Hormuz and the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. So I think very important.
Regarding, there were many talks, then now Iran said that they will not talk or engage with the US. Do you think there's any road to peace now in the region while keeping in mind the present situation?
No, the situation is extremely worrying, it's extremely difficult. It's not only in the region, we still have an ongoing Russia-Ukraine war that really affected directly Europe and European Union. The situation is not absolutely not easy to solve, but there are also signs and possibility that a regime change in Iran could be even possible. So let's see.
Last question will be related to the oil prices and the pressure on the supply chains, what we can see. There is a huge challenge which we are facing. Regarding, we have seen the Strait of Hormuz, which is for the majority of the oil supply ships to pass through. But this is also under scanner, and it has been blocked as well. Do you think it will also have an impact on the supply chain across the globe?
Yeah, of course, but that's also, we go back to the need, to the urgent need to design alternative routes. The Indian Middle East Economic Corridor is exactly an alternative route. We cannot be relying about Iranian regime attitude towards the Hormuz Strait. They cannot block the Hormuz Strait every time they want. So we need to design alternative. The Indian Middle East Economic Corridor is a credible alternative.
In another reaction, Kapil Sibal, member of Rajya Sabha, said he attended the condolence meeting at the Iranian embassy in New Delhi to express the deepest condolences over the assassination of Ali Khamenei.
I've come here to pay my heartfelt, deepest condolences at the manner in which the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was assassinated. I personally believe, and I'm sure that every nation believes that conflicts should be resolved through dialogue and not through the use of weapons of mass destruction, and that it is necessary to do so to preserve the global order. In fact, I thought that after the Second World War, the global community decided to forge a rule-based global order. But I think, unfortunately, in the last couple of years, there has been a slow dismantling of that rule-based global order. That's not good for global peace. That's not good for any nation, because we cannot revert to a situation where nations believe that might is right. That's the law of the jungle. And I'm sure that the global community will get together, no matter what their differences, to enter into a dialogue, resolve issues, and let global peace be maintained.
Civil, are you satisfied with the stand which the Indian government has taken?
I would suggest that at this juncture, we do not talk about politics. I've come here to condole the manner in which the Ayatollah was assassinated. Again, I said these are matters of politics that I'm willing to talk to you at my home. You are welcome to come there, but I don't think this is the right place for me to comment on the actions of other powers at this stage on these issues. Thank you.